This is Soundcheck Videos.
Today on Soundcheck Video, I'm going to give you some advice on how to buy vintage guitars and amps and not get burned. The first thing you want to do is narrow the field. There's lots of different vintage guitars and amps out there, and if you try to learn everything about them all, you'll spend a lifetime. So narrow the field. Once you've narrowed the field, it'll be a lot easier to do your homework, because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to learn about the specific amps or guitars that you're looking for. The first place to start is YouTube. It's a great place. There's usually 3 or 4 videos of just about any amp I ever look for, and it's a good place to just get started. The next thing to do is go to eBay. There's over 1,000 vintage amps and guitars on eBay every day, and they're constantly changing. So it's a great place to get information. There's pictures, sometimes there's videos. You can even ask questions. Don't take everybody's word for it. That's why you're doing studying. Not everybody knows exactly what they're talking about. So it's going to take time to learn, but eBay is a great place to start. Of course, there's always Google. Just punch in the name and the model of what you're looking for and see what you find. But there's lots of different websites out there that cater to vintage guitars and amps. I'll put up a list at the end of this video to all the links that I know of. There's probably about 10 or 12 of them that have tons of great information on them. Now let's talk about pricing. There's retail price and there's wholesale price. When you're talking about new items, of course, retail price is what you pay at the store. Wholesale price is what they pay at the manufacturer or distributors. But in the used market, it's a little different. In the used market, retail price is the price you charge when you're willing to wait for a buyer. And wholesale price is the price that you ask for when you need the money now. So if you have an item that's about $300 retail, it's going to sell about $175 wholesale, because anybody will buy it for that. Like if I wanted to sell one of my amps and it's normally $300 and you see them for $300 on eBay all the time, if I put it in there for $175, I can sell it the next day. So that's the difference between wholesale and retail in the used market. Okay, so now comes the fun part. You've narrowed the field, you've done your homework, you know exactly what you're looking for and how much you should pay. So now it's time to buy. So where do you buy? When it comes to buying vintage amps and guitars, there's no specific place that's the best place to buy. They all have their pros and cons. eBay is a great place to buy because they have a huge selection. The problem is you're going to pay really close to retail and you can't test the item. A lot of the sellers will tell you, well, you can return the item, but you're going to have to pay shipping both ways for that, and that can be expensive. But it's still a great place to buy, and if you pay attention, you can find some good deals. Of course, there's guitar shops, and yeah, you're probably going to end up paying retail price, but you get to test the item, and you have someone to bring it back to if there's a problem. I mean, their reputation depends on it, so they're going to probably work with you if you bring it back. Pawn shops, good luck. I've never found any vintage guitars or amps worth buying at a pawn shop. I've heard of people that have, and good for them. And I still go because I like pawn shops, but I've never found anything, and if you do find something, you'll probably get a good deal. So I do suggest going to pawn shops, but I've never found anything yet. I keep going, and good luck if you do. Craigslist. The main suggestion I have on Craigslist is always buy local. Never buy anything on Craigslist that you have to send people money and hope they send it back. I just don't trust it, and I've heard some bad stories. So I wouldn't suggest that. But I check Craigslist every day. Websites. There's lots of websites out there that sell vintage guitars and amps, but make sure you trust them, and you're probably going to pay real close to retail. So where do you buy? Well, my suggestion is use them all. Check eBay every day, check Craigslist every day, go to guitar shops whenever you get a chance, go to pawn shops whenever you get a chance, and sooner or later you'll find something good. So that's it, use them all. One last suggestion that I have is start with stuff that's less expensive. If you're buying something that's $100 to $300, you don't have as much to lose. If you go out and you buy a $10,000 Fender amp and you get it home and it's got the wrong transformer in it, the wrong speaker, it's not even worth $2,000, you just lost $8,000. But if you buy a $150 amp or a $300 guitar, you just don't have as much to lose. So I suggest starting out with less expensive equipment and then build your way up, work your way up. I started out collecting what I call affordable vintage guitars and amps, like the Silvertones, the Harmonies, the old Craftsmans, even Teiscos. It's a great way to get started because you don't take as big a chance when you buy something. I paid $65 for this guitar. It's a great player. It stays in tune, has an adjustable neck, solid body, 2 pickups. It's got a great sound to it. You just really don't have much to lose. This is the way I figure it. If you can get a vintage guitar that's a player that actually plays and you can enjoy playing it for under $100, you can't lose. There's nothing to lose. I mean, you can't go to guitar shops, buy a brand new guitar for $100 that actually plays well. So it's a great place to start. Affordable vintage guitars and amps. Here's a couple quick things. Always play or test anything you buy when you can. Buy what you love. Buy what you really like. If you had something that you played when you were a kid and that's something that's in your head that you want, buy it. Because that way if the price goes up or down, doesn't matter. You bought something that you really love. Also, play it. Don't buy something that you're afraid to play. It's not worth having. I mean, buy something that you can actually play and enjoy. That way you really get the appreciation for it. Who cares if you buy something and you set it into a corner and say, oh, look what I got. If you can't play it, why have it? I hope you learned something from this video today because that's our goal. So thanks for checking out Soundcheck Videos and have a wonderful day.